viewers, my name's Cara. I'm your host for Tuesdays on the Pagan Perspective, and this week we are doing Halloween, Samhain, or Beltane DIYs. Now, in case you didn't know this about me, I am one of those witches who loves everything Halloween, everything having to do with the crazy colored, kind of cheesy, witchy Halloween decorations I am in love with. In case you haven't noticed my home decor, a lot of this is here year-round, and I pride myself in that, and I've only gotten more things this year. So, a few little things that I want to do today, kind of just very simple, somewhat silly little DIY things for you. So, the first thing, I am always extolling the virtues of the dollar store when it comes to things like this. So last week I was at my local Dollar Tree looking for Halloween things, and I found these lovely Halloween press-on decor things. There's the typical, what would be like wine bottle labels, and we also have some that are black and white themed. A lot of graveyard and skulls there, and then also black, orange, and white trick-or-treat. So the one that I would like to use right now is this orange and black. It says name your poison, and it's going to go on this tiny little jar glass thing that I have here. Another thing about me as a witch and about some witches stereotypically is that we tend to have a lot of jars and bottles and boxes lying around just in case, and to hold all of our little witchy odds and ends and bits and bobs. And so I have a few more here that are things that I've used. Empty jam jars that don't have anything on the lid are perfect for things like this. You can also paint them. If I had more time, I would do a painting DIY because I love to paint on little things like this. Also stickers, anything like that, tying ribbon around them. There's a whole bunch of fun crafts you can do with that for any season, really. But so, I'm going to go ahead and cut out the decal that I want, the Name Your Poison decal. There we are. I have already cleaned the surface of my glass. You have to start with a clean surface. Peel off the plastic backing, and it's going to be kind of like a temporary tattoo, only these remove with rubbing alcohol or baby oil. I'm hoping that means they won't rub off with plain water if I'm using it on a drinking vessel. So here we go. The good thing is it's clear so I can sort of look through the other side and make sure it's straight. Alright. To be fair, it did say to use a flat surface and not a curved surface, and what I thought it meant was nothing with ripples or ridges or anything. Now I'm seeing that even this is a little bit too curved and I'm going to have some wrinkles in it, but that's okay. I think it adds character. Water from a wet sponge. And it says to hold for 20 to 30 seconds. So, pretty much exactly like a temporary tattoo here. Press it on. So how have you been? How are things? How's life? How are the kids? How's ritual been? You know, it's sliding off, so I suppose it's done. Oh my! Yes, it has a very subtly antiqued look to it, in that it kind of slid and got scrunched, and pieces already not gone on correctly. Anyway, there we are. I'm going to let it dry. The next mini project I have for you is something very silly and very simple. Something that I've enjoyed doing since I was a kid, and I still think is kind of fun. And you can make this even fancier, you can make it even more elaborate, but it's just a very simple base. So what we have here, you might be able to tell from all the way over there that I have a small bat cut out, stuck right here. I have cut that out using a bat-shaped cookie cutter that I have as the template, and so now I have this negative stencil of it. I'm going to use with my last piece of black paper that I had in my crafting things. And so with some kind of stencil, or if you're very good at hand drawing, you can create yourself a stencil, or I used a cookie cutter, as I said, to stencil out some bats. Very simple, you see. I'm just tracing. I mean, I know it's hard to see because it's black on black on black, but you can also do this with different colors, different shapes. You can make jack-o'-lanterns, you can make, ghosts is the word I was looking for there, I couldn't think of it. Witch hats, brooms, anything you like. I'm just going to do a couple here because another thing, other than what I am going to show you right now, there's another thing using these, which I will show you at the end, that I also like and have always wanted to do and might get around to doing on a bigger scale this year. There we are. I've done 3 bats. 3 is a good number, a good magic number and all. I'm going to cut them out. I know that you cannot see this black on black on black once again. But you know, basic skill here. I'm even using very small childlike scissors. I'm not going to make you wait and watch me cut out all 3 of them. I'm just going to do 1 for this first thing. There are lots of Halloween cookie cutter shapes, and they typically sell them at dollar stores, Walmart, Target, like any kind of store probably has them around this time of year. And as someone pointed out to me the other day, our culture is such that people are always hurrying to the next big holiday, so the Christmas things are already out with the Halloween stuff. So in some places, the Halloween stuff is already on sale, which is great for us, because you don't want to have to spend a lot of money on things to make your place Halloweeny. Alright, now we have a bat. Yes. Now, I am going to take my scissors once again, and about quarter of an inch apart, vertically, I'm going to cut 2 horizontal slits, far enough apart to have a good size part of paper between them. The technical terminology for this is very important, as you see. Anyways, I'm going to cut 2 slits. You can actually fold the bat in half a bit, if that helps. Slit and a slit. And what that does is it makes a little pop-out, like if you've ever made greeting cards with pop-ups, you do that and push the middle tab one direction and fold the card the other way, and then when you open up, you have this pop tab, let me show you, like that you can attach things to. That's how you make pop-up cards. But anyway, when you do it like this, just for this, you get one of my Halloween swizzle sticks for you. Thread that through there, and oh, I actually made it too wide. This would be perfect if it were an actual straw, but it isn't. It's a swizzle stick, but you see where I'm going. Bat on a stick. I don't know quite what it is about bats that I've been loving bats a lot recently, but I love bats, especially in Halloween decor, and spiders as well. So now that I have this little guy on a swizzle stick, which again, this is originally a craft for on a straw, a crazy straw of some kind, or on a regular straw, just to add fun to your drink. It can also be a mustache, a bat stash. But also a fun thing that I did, I have these cordial glasses, and I have chocolate-covered candy, which I have been eating. Fill a little cordial glass with that. Stick my swizzle stick in there. Oh, my bat is falling down. But there you have it. Random decorative thing there. And for my last silly little DIY thing, what witch's Halloween do-it-yourself tutorial would be complete without a little witch's brew? There are many, many drinks, of course, out there, many, many recipes. Something that I really like that actually was called Witch's Brew, I don't even have the recipe for anymore. It was in a book that I had a long, long time ago, and it was a mulled apple cider base with cinnamon and clove and things like that. I have found a new recipe in a new book that I like, which I just got at my local library. I just went to the Halloween DIY decor section, and there were a lot of recipes, and this one, it was like an orange juice and apple cider mixture, and they called for star anise for garnish, as well as a thin round slice of apple, which I thought was very cool aesthetically as well as flavor-wise. So there are plenty of things that you could find online, I'm sure, or in books. But for me, something that I normally do at home would be something like orange cocktail, perhaps. I do a lot with orange juice and the spirit of your choice. That is, if you are of age to have such a thing. And if not, there are plenty of fun things that you can do non-alcoholic as well. For example, what I have today. This is a very, very light concentration of an herbal tea that I have had brewed for a while. I brewed it in the sun, something that my mother taught me when I was young. We call it sun tea. You just put the tea in your pitcher in the water and put it out in the sun and let the sun heat it to steep your tea. Now, being magic practitioners, we of course imbue things with the energy of the sun and with the energy of the moon, charging our crystals under the moonlight and under the sunlight. So can be the same with your brew. So, this is what I have today. And of course we have to get back out our newly decorated Name Your Poison glass. And one last thing. My ice cube trays were made of plastic from the dollar store, and they actually crack with the cold. Shucks darn. However, around Halloween, a lot of dollar stores and similar places have silicone ice cube trays that are Halloween themed. This one I got is pumpkins, as you can see. And so we have very subtle detailed, not hugely detailed, pumpkins. Put a pumpkin in there. And then this other tray I got is spiders and spider webs. Let's see if you can see the light there. There we go. I had to get some contrast with the lighting. And so lately, when I've been making drinks, I like to put one pumpkin, one web, and one spider. Your recipe may call for different amounts of those ingredients. The dollar store that I got these from was a Dollar Tree, and they actually also had a purple silicone tray that was skull-shaped ice cubes, but I didn't want those. Look at how nice these spiders. And I didn't show you the web, so I will get out another web. You can never have too many cobwebs around Halloween. There you are. Put those in there, put the trays back in the freezer, refill them first, but I'll do that later. Pour in your brew, which mine at this point is a nice orangey color. And yes, my pitcher also has bats and flying witches on it, and I use this all year round. I got this last year at a local grocery store for $1. The only bad thing with that is that the lid did crack because it's made of plastic, and I put it in the refrigerator and it got too cold, but it was $1, and I can get another one this year. They have them again. Well, there we are. And I can either, if this were a cocktail, I would then stir it a bit with my swizzle stick, with my bat, or if this were a mulled apple cider beverage, a whole cinnamon stick as your stirrer. Very autumn, very Halloween-tide, very witchy, and might even taste pretty good with this and works well as a straw. Happy Halloween! A very merry Samhain and a happy Beltane to those of you in the southern hemisphere. Thanks very much for watching. Don't forget to be awesome, blessed be, and goodbye. I actually do have a tea in here called Witch's Brew that's by Standing Stones Herb Company, and I bet that would go really well with that cinnamon stick. So I think I might brew myself some of that instead. And also, this is something that I got from the local apothecary, Spirit Apothecary in Bedford, Ohio. It's an herbal infusion that they had on clearance, which is pretty good. I had it last week. 2 weeks ago on Pagan Perspective, the subs talked about teas and magical beverages in your practice, so if you're looking for anything to put in your fancy glass with your bat swizzle stick, I think I have some ideas for you there. And the other thing I want to do with my bats, but on a bigger scale. You can imagine some of those, some bigger, some smaller, all going like this. Wouldn't that be fun? Or you can do it with spiders, but I like the bats.